Let's be real about this. LeBron James is the GM of the Lakers, and I would like to congratulate him on all the sensational moves he just made to restock his roster. Giving Melo one last run at a ring was really a sweet move. And Dwight Howard and Ellington and Ariza and Monk and Kendrick Nunn and re-signing THT on TNT. I love it all, except I disqualify every bit of it.
What?
Russell Westbrook is still your point guard, LeBron. He's still your primary decision maker.
So you never owned a previous choice? No, I haven't.
I can't win with him. James Harden said, I can't win with him. LeBron, you will not be able to overcome Russell Westbrook.
Somehow hit a home run with like almost all of them. Kendrick Nunn took less money to play with this stacked Lakers team.
Please, I did see that. That black clip was that?
Chris, I don't want to be too
You want to be real mad when he find out who I am.
But to say that the Lakers are not favorites in the West is just, kind of going against conventional wisdom, facts, stats, numbers, Vegas numbers. Chris, come on.
Did you listen to what I said?
Yeah.
I said if you force me to pick a favorite in the West, who did I say it would be?
There's no need to force it.
I said it would be the Lakers.
Who's the best team in the West?
The reason I'm saying the field is because so much has to go right. LeBron, y'all.
I'm gonna say this: we immediately focus on the Lakers and whatnot. The Suns had a monumental year last year, right? They're only getting better, right? They're only getting better. The Warriors are coming back, right? The Warriors are coming back. Like the West, I feel like Hawk is Rob. If it's Rob, I'm banning him. If it's Rob, I'm banning, not Rob. I think it's John. But the West, I don't try. It was riddled with injury. It was riddled with injury last year. Kawhi got hurt in the playoffs. It was riddled with. Now Rob has his boss name in it. I just think like that they're discounting the league. The league itself is a talented league. Every team is talented, and this is at the beginning of the league, bro. The East was too, right? So they're saying the Lakers this, but I think they're in contention now to win. I'm not handing it to them. I feel like they're in contention now to win, bro.
Father Time is undefeated. Do I have to remind you that everybody's not Tom Brady?
Tom Brady, right?
I don't disagree
LeBron
with what
is in his 19th year.
LeBron was an MVP candidate this year, Chris. He was an MVP candidate early in the season.
I get it. Look, and he got hurt. That's my point.
Right.
LeBron can still play. He may still be the best player in the world when he's playing. But it isn't a coincidence. I think the injuries that took him out in 2 of the last 3 years would not have taken him out 5-6 years ago.
I agree.
He would have handled those better. That's where Father Time's tapping him on the shoulder.
The Suns, the Warriors, the Clippers are all major factors in the West. I don't know why everybody focuses on LA so much. Because they made the most moves.
I think that's now. I'm not predicting he gets hurt. I'm just saying, when age comes along, injuries are always an issue. And Anthony Davis isn't old. He's just injury prone. Period.
Kyrie.
We got to run that back. We got to run that back because that's something else that's gonna play a huge factor in this, right? We got to run that back, Chad.
Davis isn't old. He's just injury prone.
So is Kevin Durant. Like, come on.
1 year.
No, they focus because LeBron's there. I agree with that too.
Stop. Kevin Durant has serious injuries that keep him out. Anthony Davis has nagging injuries that bother him all the time, and he misses games here and there. The one time he didn't, they had a 4-month layoff. So again, I like the Lakers. They are the favorites in the West. This isn't a crazy roster when you look at it. Although I think
I'm gonna say this. LeBron not gonna play with the anger. I'm gonna say this about Russell Westbrook and LeBron. I'm gonna say LeBron playing with KD. He was younger. He was really younger, and he felt like he was just as good as KD was. At this point in his career, I feel like him playing with the Wizards, that was humbling. That was humbling. Him at OKC, he was still getting it done. He was still getting the job done. When he went to the Wizards, he couldn't get it. He couldn't get the job done. Yeah, I mean Westbrook. So I do think he's going to play differently. I do feel like he's going to defer and he's going to pick his spots. I do. Because they got Howard in my Gotti voice. There we go. Talk that talk, Roz.
I think when you say maybe the best ever, LeVar, you're counting Dwight Howard in his prime, Carmelo Anthony in his prime. They're not there. But it is an impressive roster on paper. It's an impressive roster on paper. I'm just saying these guys got to stay healthy. And don't think LeBron
okay,
and
got
AD
you.
can
I said LeBron. I said
too much
LeBron.
in the regular season because they need to play together with Westbrook to develop chemistry. They have to figure out how they're going to play. I mean, they're not just going to step on the floor and mesh like that. This is not a Brooklyn situation where even that was going to be a challenge, but James Harden could run the point the way he did, and those two guys around him could shoot lights out.
Yeah.
Now, you're talking the stars don't shoot lights out for the Lakers. And you're talking about Malik Monk coming in dropping 30. Stop it, J-Mac.
Why
He
not?
averaged
Why
11
he's
points
done that before.
last year. Because he's in 11.
These boys are wildin'. They wildin'. No, Portland, Melo is good enough for the Lakers. I feel like good too. I feel like in the basketball NBA community, we're not looking at the roster and say, oh, they got superstar Dwight Howard. No. They got a finisher around the rim and a rim protector. I'm not saying Dwight gonna give him 20 and 20. I'm saying Dwight gonna give him 10 and 8. 10 points, 8 rebounds, and defend the rim. They didn't have that last year. Melo gonna be a good spot-up shooter for them. He shot over 40% last year. With the mentality and the IQ of what's necessary. That's really what Dwight... Listen, Chad. LeBron James is buying. When he get these players, he's buying IQ. Because these superstars have seen so much. And now they know their position to play. If you don't think LeBron James talked to Russell Westbrook first, say, listen, bro, I'm going to bring you in, and this is what I need from you. Agree to that, then we assign you. If you don't feel like LeBron James did that, because LeBron James handpicked these people, hey, get him. If you don't feel like LeBron James did that, you are out of your fucking mind. Any Laker ejection predictions? Nope. Everybody gonna play good. Nobody fussing, nobody fighting, because they about to get a ring this year.
Point score.
They said Harden, KD, and Kyrie wouldn't be good, and they wasn't doing good. They wasn't doing good. I say they need time to jail, but I knew they'd get together out of playoffs.
That's what he is.
McLemore came into a Lakers game last year and hit 6 threes and a half. It happens with LeBron. This is what you do. You stack LeBron's team with role players who can make shots.
They had role players. They had 40% shooters from 3 last year. All right, and they didn't shoot as well. These are not Kyle Korvers. These are not Kyle Korvers.
But you can't compare Kuzma and these guys from this past year to the type of
they was doing good. I said
that they're bringing in. You know,
hold on. They didn't start off doing good, and them on the court, they went on the court a lot in the season. They was hurt a lot, right? After Kyrie and James Harden got hurt, they started running like a Houston style of basketball. When they started coming back, because James Harden already ran the offense, they started putting them into this style of play where James Harden gives them the ball. When they were letting James Harden run offense, everybody played well. You know what I'm saying? But at the beginning, they were playing together. No. Everybody wanted the ball. So, I mean, they got it together. I look for them to come in the league. Come into next season, do the same thing. Really, I see the Nets legitimately running the East. Because, I mean, there's no firepower over there.
Just for an example, he's one of
the Nets had a chip if they was healthy. Yeah, that's for sure. They had
those guys that could have been on the level of LeBron when they came into the NBA. And he's always chased that, and he's probably always been haunted by it. but they're close friends as well. So when I look at guys like Melo or I look at guys like Dwight Howard, we got our best basketball out of Dwight Howard. We didn't hear craziness about things that he was doing or things he was feeling in that championship run with the Lakers. You bring in a Trevor Ariza. He's going to be one of those guys that he's bringing toughness to the table. He's the chippy guy. You bring in Russ, the same type of guy. I think the makeup of this group of guys, when I look at the field, they can get through this.
Praying for Giannis to Brooklyn. Relax.
Because when I look at, okay, I love Utah. I always talk about Utah.
Relax.
What advantage does Utah have?
None.
We saw if Donovan goes down and he gets injured, which he does get injured, they're a different team. All right. You look at the Clips. They're already coming in wounded. They're a step behind the Lakers already with Kawhi. When I look at the other teams, Jamal Murray went out. How healthy is he going to be moving forward? They've made some moves.
Chat, I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all, we can't predict injuries, but I'm telling y'all, injuries play a huge role in basketball. Well, in sports in general. Injuries play a huge role in this, bro. And that's what I'm saying, man. The best team in sports don't win all the time. The healthiest team in sports win.
But when I look at the West and I look at the field, is it so crazy to think that, well, having a true offseason of rest, coming out of the bubble and getting another season, you go out of the playoffs relatively early, so now you've gotten a real restful time as LeBron and AD. AD's changed his training staff, so he's doing things that he can do to make himself physically better prepared for the season. I just don't think it's egregious to look at this team and say, they're too old, so I'm going to take the field. And maybe it's by default, Broussard. Maybe I'm looking at the rest of the field and I'm saying, no one definitively made a move that says to me, oh my gosh, like, you got to worry about them. You got to worry about.
I agree with that, right? I agree with that. Obviously, the Lakers are saying, listen, we want to win now, right? The Lakers, all the moves the Lakers made in the offseason, they realized, listen, we could have won last year with this team, but this year, this will not be enough. If Bucks brought the same team back, they wouldn't win another chip. That's a fact too. That's a fact too. No, they need more. They need more firepower too. And that's why I'm surprised the Bucks ain't going out getting nobody. They're not getting nobody. They're not getting nobody. The ones that this is why we gotta respect LeBron James, the Lakers, because listen, they want to win and they're displaying it. Just we move like this.
This team, there's no one who has done that set themselves apart. So I look at the Lakers as saying they addressed it the way they needed to in order to be as competitive as they can possibly be for one
They ain't got no money.
And one
the Bucks
season
won because of
alone.
injuries, right? They did.
Don't think I'm totally
No. The Bucks won because KD wore a size 17, but he should have been wearing a size 15. KD's foot is not on that line. No boys are home right now. Well, they're home then.
Lakers here. There are some weaknesses, right, LeVar? I mean, I'm not really worried about the workload on LeBron. I'm more worried about the team doctor, tending to all these elderly gentlemen on the roster. But in all seriousness, the rim protection could need a third guy. Okay, as you said, Anthony Davis is usually missing 15, 20 games a season. Dwight Howard, he's an ancient guy out there. They need a third.
What the fuck he say about Dwight? What the hell did he just say? You better watch his mouth. What he just said about Dwight?
Games a season. Dwight Howard, he's an ancient guy out there.
I got him for you, Dwight. I got him for you, bro. He don't know what he talking about.
They need a third rim protector because, truth be told, when Carmelo Anthony's on the court, people
Bucks can afford to play luxury tag. They can. They just won championship.
Not known as a great defender. Malik Monk ranked 115th out of 116 shooting guards in defensive real plus minus. So a third rim protector would be nice. And then, Chris, one thing
he meant vet. Thank you. He meant vet.
Is going to
you
have
better keep
to
it
manage
respectful.
some egos here. Because there are
what, bro? Put some more hands on for that, bro.
Who may not
we gotta put more hands on because I can't let that slide. I can't let that one slide, Jai. That's for Dwight, bro.
Anthony's on the court, people are blowing by him pretty easily. And Wayne Ellington, not known as a great defender. Malik Monk ranked 115th out of 116 shooting guards in defensive real plus minus. So a third rim protector.
Right here.
Ranked 115th out of 116 shooting guards in defensive real plus minus. So a third rim protector would be nice. And Len, Chris, one thing you haven't mentioned is Frank Vogel.
I gotta put my hands on him one more time. Yeah, where he said it, I gotta put my hands on him one more time.
Anthony Davis is usually missing 15, 20 games.
All right, right here.
I'm not really worried about the workload on LeBron. I'm more worried about the team doctor, tending to all these elderly gentlemen on the roster. But in all seriousness, the rim protection could need a third guy. Okay, as you said, Anthony Davis is usually missing 15, 20 games a season. Dwight Howard, he's an ancient guy out there. Dwight
Howard's an ancient guy! What about Dwight? Dwight what? Alright. I'm good, Chad. I'm relaxed. I'm good.
Truth be told, when Carmelo Anthony's
I'm good
on the
now.
court,
I got off my chest.
People are blowing by.
I'm good now. I got off my chest.
And Wayne Ellington, not known as a great defender. Malik Monk ranked 115th out of 116 shooting guards
you talking
in
nonsense,
defensive real plus minus. So a third rim protector would be nice. And Len, Chris, one thing you haven't mentioned is Frank Vogel is going to have to manage some egos here, because there are a lot of guys on this roster who may not like it if they don't play 10 minutes in a game or 20 minutes. Like, I don't know how Russ is going to handle if he has to take a back seat. Or Carmelo, hey, you're going to sit this one out, buddy. You're going to rest. Is Carmelo going to want to do that for a guy who hasn't been to the Western Conference Finals?
It's an all-star team.
Since
That's
2009.
What you do. It's an all-star team.
LeVar's right.
This is better. Yeah. This is bigger than
a
big three. I'm sitting a big three guy down. You can't play. This is an all-star cast of players. Mm-hmm. Those guys are not going to be sitting there complaining if they're sitting out. You know what they're going to be doing? Icing a knee, taking some Advil, making sure that they keeping that knee inflamed. They probably dealing with a touch of arthritis at this point.
Oh my God, bro!
So
this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. No, he don't, DJ.
You're not gonna have a problem with that.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be an ego problem. I even think Westbrook.
This guy clearly doesn't know shit.
I don't think he's a selfish player at all. I think the challenge for Westbrook is not going to be, I'll do whatever it takes. Because he went to Houston and was ready to do whatever it took next to James Harden. The challenge for Russ is going to be that your game is your game.
Right, he can't shoot.
He's been playing the same way his whole life.
Been coming
obviously,
off the bench,
for his last 12 years or whatever it is of his NBA career, is he going to be able to adjust?
Hold on, let me say that. I feel like everybody on this roster realize, listen, I tried to do it by myself. I'm not that. I feel like everybody on this roster can say, I tried to do it by myself. I couldn't do it. So they all gonna sit down, bro. There will be no arguments over who. Listen. The reason that KD or Kyrie will argue over the last shot, right? Because they can do it. They both carried teams before, right? And been successful at doing it. You know what I'm saying? Russell Westbrook, bro, he's depleted. He wants help. He want to be like, okay, you know what? I'm sitting out for a couple minutes because this shit is not important to him no more. Winning a ring is important. When people start realizing they're faced with, listen, this is what I got to do to win a ring, it's like, cool. It's like when your girlfriend say, listen, now, this is what I want from you. This is what I want from you. For me to go down on you. You say, you know what, you want a ring for that? Okay, I'm going to give you a ring because I want to get what I want to get. They know what's coming with playing this season. Right. Bro, this is Russell Westbrook, right? To me, this is a make or break season for him. And I say that because he's been the main player on the team. He's been a role player on other teams, right? If it don't work, if you do not win a ring right here, the value on Russell Westbrook drops tremendously. And after that, he's a nobody floating around from team to team, and he'll start coming to the bench. Mark my words right now. If he do not win a ring right here, right now, he will come to the bench next season for somebody. I feel like Westbrook is gonna make the adjustment, and he's gonna learn a lot from LeBron. I feel like it too. They both got the same game, right? Westbrook is probably the hypest person coming into the season. He has the most to prove. Peep game. Peep game. The Blazers, not the Blazers, the Rockets. The Rockets humbled Melo. You know what I'm saying? They humbled Melo. Hey, Melo, you can't do all that. You got to sit back. He got humbled from that, right? He went to the Blazers. He really got in that role and got better. He's comfortable doing what he's doing. He comfortable doing what he's doing. Dwight B coming off the bench. He played for everybody's bench at this point. He don't get no fuck. This is Russell Westbrook's last chance to save the value of his name on a roster. If he do not win, he is coming off the bench next season. Mark my words.
I mentioned that team when Gary Payton went to the Lakers.
Let me ask you
he had
this, bro.
trouble adjusting to the triangle offense. He hated it, and he couldn't be himself.
Yeah, but he had to
those
play.
are real concerns. That's
Okay,
all.
but who was the coach
He
at
what?
that? Who was the coach at that time when
Phil
Gary
Jackson.
Payton
Phil
came?
Jackson.
Okay, that's
Phil
a much
Jackson.
different animal than
So pretty
dealing
good
with
coach.
And by the way, the
right
Lakers,
now.
I believe, had gone to 3 straight finals, Chris. They were worn down when they added
No, they lost the
Mailman
year before.
and Gary
They
Payton,
all
who
lost the year
who were straight
before
up
to San
fossils, who
Antonio.
were like, I believe, 38, 39 years old.
But let me throw this one out at you guys.
Their numbers were big the year
Let
before.
me throw this one out at you. Russell Westbrook goes hard. And we all know it. In fact, he physically will go harder than every single
I agree.
player on this
I agree.
roster that has been assembled, correct? We won't argue that, right?
I agree.
Is there a possibility that the idea of all of this is to do just that? Allow Russ to do Russ, and we fit around Russ because he's got the younger leg.
Let me say this. I said at the beginning of this stream. I said Dwight Howard is the most important signing piece of this because he's going to make this work. I don't believe. Well, I mean, Dwight Howard, like AD and LeBron, they go do their numbers, right? But when that second unit is in, Russell Westbrook, the same game he had with Steven Adams, that's going to be Russell Westbrook and Dwight Howard. I agree with what he's saying. The second unit, like Russ going to be a starter, but he's going to get a lot of plays with that second unit. He's going to do a lot of dropping that ball to Dwight in the paint, letting Dwight Howard score. Mark my words, chat. Fact, Russ is the energy. Dwight the personality. I'm telling y'all, bro. Mark my words.
He's got the vibrant approach. He's got the energetic approach. He's been great at what part of the season? The regular